Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the NVR Pro Show, the show where top level pros in every walk of life reveal the tactics and methods of their success, their past failures, advice, and maybe even some of the top secret details on their lives. This episode is brought to you by Tixpire, the company that offers you the ability to attend any event, including conferences, music festivals, and even travel, and pay later with no interest. Go now, pay later at tixpire.com. That's TIXPIRE.com. Today we're with Cam Hoffman, an Austin, Texas freelance photographer and young entrepreneur. It was an inspiring episode, and I admire the path that he's on, the people he's inspired, and I'm excited to see what he has ahead for us. You can find him on Instagram at CamRHoffman or at CamHoffman.com. As always, feel free to check the show notes on neverrest.com. Without further ado, here's the episode. What are you doing all of this for? What's your mission?
Well, my mission, I don't know if I'd say I have a mission as much as, well, actually, yeah, I kind of do. I really just wanted to start by doing this, not only for myself, but I mean, as we all know, Sam Colder, one of the pioneers for all of this that I'm kind of jumping into now, this whole genre of work. It really grabbed my attention when I was, I want to say late 18, about to be 19. And at first I wanted to kind of do it for myself because, growing up, my dad, my mom, they were always very supportive of what I would do with my life. They always told me that I could be what I wanted to be. I just didn't really know what. And I started seeing ads for these guys come up on YouTube and Instagram. And I'm like, what are they doing? What is this? Are they doing this for a living? So I kind of dived right in. I eventually ended up trying to do this more for other people, though. So it kind of started off by being a little self-love path to life, Now I can't really say I'm doing it all for myself anymore. I like to do it for other people.
So backtracking, where are you from?
I'm from here, Austin, Texas.
Okay. So you just turned 20, and you've been doing this for 2 years. You've got a massive following. Your content is awesome.
Thank you.
I think like a lot of people, you're building your own business because it seems like you wanted to do a little bit of a lot of things.
Yeah.
And you found a way to do it and make some money off of it and reach a bunch of people. So you started it to figure out what you wanted to do, and then you said you started doing it for other people. So
yeah. What
does that mean? What are you doing for other people? What are other people saying they want?
I mean, it's pretty cliche if you think about it, the whole inspire people to do other things, but the moment I knew that I was doing it for other people more than myself, I started getting DMs, not too many, just a little here and there from really normal people, honestly. They didn't have big followings. Social media clearly didn't matter to them. It was kind of more people that would just kind of go on and post what they're doing with their day, and they would contact me, and they would say things like, "Hey, I'm from so and so country. I'm this many years old, and I found your page." Well, honestly, I've had countless people say that they found my page different ways, but regardless of the fact, I've just gotten messages saying how I've inspired them to try photography or to try and travel more or try and be a little bit more creative with how they edit their pictures. And honestly, it's not really anything I'd ever expect. I'd kind of look at bigger photographers, bigger people in the industry to kind of have that big of an impact on people more than myself, especially at the time I was only doing it for about a year. I don't know. It makes my day because knowing that I'm doing something to help people try and do something different with their lives, it's inspiring to myself. It clearly shows that I'm doing something right, even though I'm really just trying to do me, but then again, it's not all about me as much as people might think it is. I'm trying to do this for other people as well, and we can get into it in the future and later on in the podcast, but I actually wanted to talk about future projects that I'm going to be working on for other people, but
Absolutely.
evidently
Awesome.
so, yeah. What basically what I mean by that is I just want to kind of, because on my my social media, it kind of looks like I'm all over the place, traveling constantly somewhere besides home, doing really cool stuff. And it's not really to like to flex or anything. It's not really like the point of why I post things, just kind of teaching people to be creative, get out there more. People, especially my friends, family, they constantly tell me that they have certain things they want to do with their life, and they either really don't know if they're going to be happy doing it, or they don't even know what they're going to be doing in the first place. But they'll tell me, I want to do this, I wish I could do this, this would be fun, but it doesn't sound realistic. I've been told by countless classmates that I graduated high school with that they kind of look up to me in the sense that, like, I'm one of the few of my class to actually try and do something that's a little out of the ordinary, because most people I know are all in college, or they're just working really mediocre jobs and they're not really having a good time. I'll even get comments on my pictures from people that I didn't even really talk to in high school, and they'll kind of be like, yo, this is sick. Like, I had a buddy actually named Luca. He was like, yo, this kid got way cooler since high school.
That's all right, man. Nobody's going to remember high school.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
But, yeah, I mean, I just want to kind of get people to step out of their comfort zones, because I know too many talented people, especially close friends of mine, that could be doing something, and they're not, they're kind of, they're choosing the safe route.
Absolutely.
And as scary it is, God, as scary as it is sometimes, safe route's never worth it. Never
but
worth it.
I think it's scary no matter what.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even with the safe route, like,
right,
because things happen.
Shit happens.
Life is life.
Right.
Things come, things go. Roadblocks are always right around the block. I feel like I don't think anyone has like a path per se. I don't think things are meant to happen. I think you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Okay.
But I don't know. I just don't think the safe route is really worth it. I think people should try and step out of their zones, because comfort zone is going to kill you. I try to get people to realize that as often as possible.
When you're going to die anyway, right?
Exactly.
So you might as well die having some fun.
Why not go do something fun?
Doing something you love. Yeah, I love it, man. I do. You've inspired, obviously, a lot of people. And I think the coolest thing you said is you're getting people to think creatively.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether you have a talent for it or you just worked really hard at it. I'm sure it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So when you were looking through these things, when you're first starting, you didn't know exactly what you wanted to do. It doesn't sound like you wanted to go to college or had something kind of picked out.
Yeah, no.
Why'd you choose photography? And do you do videography, or is it mostly photography?
Right now I'm mainly doing photography, but I have upped a little bit with gear, and I've been talking about doing video for the past year. I've never gotten to it because honestly the first year I had started photography, I edited everything on my phone. And with anyone that's in this industry, like, they know that's
sitting on Lightroom for a few hours just trying to
the worst thing to do is to edit everything on your phone, because everything gets compressed to at least 720p, which makes things look horrible. And at the time I knew it, but I was very careless, like, I took my shots, I have them downloaded to my phone exactly where I need them, I'll edit them in my Lightroom app.
Right.
What's done is done. And I eventually got a desktop to work on, and then I kind of busted my butt to actually. By the way, is this an explicit podcast?
Yeah, dude, you can say whatever the fuck you want to say.
I have a bit of a potty mouth.
We can always edit if we need to, but no, you can say whatever you want to say.
I kind of busted my ass working for a window cleaning company so that I could get one of those curved monitors for editing. Got a 49-inch curved monitor. I was so stoked about it. And now I finally have a desktop to work on, but for a long time I didn't have the gear, so I couldn't really do video as much as I wanted to. Now that I do, I'm starting to, reach out to companies, reach out to brands, and kind of pitch ideas that I have for them, because I want to I don't really just want to make. Well, I don't really want to make sets of photos for them and then call it a day. I'd kind of like to visually tell a story and kind of make their brand stand out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't really done any video work yet, but to answer your question, I will be soon. But yeah, I've really only been doing photography now for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years this year.
And you're killing it. I think you've got the talent. You're working your ass off. I offered you a drink and you said, no, man, that gets me in the wrong mindset. I can't work. And I know what you mean. Like, when you have to sit down and work, you have to have a clear head. You have to be able to think about what you're doing, because you probably edited some really cool photos on your Lightroom app. And you realize, like, this isn't enough. I can do better. So I think your mindset is perfect. Do you feel like, and I think based on what I just said, I know the answer, but do you feel like more of this was talent or hard work? Do you feel like you've overworked your talent? Do you feel like you had talent and then worked? What do you feel about hard work, talent? And you can have both, right? But how do you feel about that for you specifically?
Honestly, with photography, I really didn't know that I had a talent for such a craft. Like you had said earlier, with college, I had never really... Well, honestly, when I was in high school, especially my senior year, I was so stressed about college. I was constantly trying to figure out where I was going to go, what I was going to do. I was trying to rush it, trying to rush the process of finding a career path and sticking with it. And at the time, I loved eyes. In my family, they're all in optometry, ophthalmology. They do surgeries. And honestly, eyes are beautiful to me. It's window of the soul. So I'm like, maybe I could have a career doing something with eyes. But as I started right before I was about to graduate, I kept thinking about it. I'm like, I could do this, except it's going to cost a lot of money for school. Don't know if I want to do that. It's at least 8 years. And my dream school was LSU, and I got accepted. I got accepted at every school I applied to except for one, which is Texas State, ironically. I applied to Texas State, LSU, Texas Tech, Auburn, and then Arizona State. And
you got into all of them.
All except for Texas State, which you'd think would be the easiest one.
Just ignore that one, yeah.
It's whatever. Actually, I might have. Actually, no, I didn't get into Texas. I didn't get to Texas Tech either. Totally forgot about that. The in-state schools I didn't get into.
Maybe they just didn't. Yeah, I don't know.
It was all about class rank or like.
Because Auburn, I feel like Auburn, that would be the one I'd be like, oh, maybe you didn't get into that one, but
Auburn was very nice to me.
That's awesome. So I mean, yeah, you had the opportunities even, and you realized you didn't get in this because you just didn't have any other options. This is what you chose to do.
And yeah, honestly, it definitely was, and I started stressing though, because online, if you go and look at like LSU's, honestly any of the schools that I had applied to, if you look at their their yearly tuition fee, it's anywhere between, I'd say, like 20 to 35K, give or take, which is pretty average, I'd say, for out of state. I found LSU for like 32, and then I called someone from their office and tried to figure out like if they could round it up for me, like what all it would cost me. And after I got accepted, they ironically told me then, actually, it's going to be about 52K
a year.
Yeah. So I'm like, no.
So you're going to pay $200,000 for a degree.
Yeah. And something that I don't even know if I love yet.
Yeah, you're going to do what I did.
Like, I don't know if that's worth it. And it bummed me out, honestly, like kind of broke my heart, because I was like, I really want to go to LSU. I have friends there. I love the campus, like everything about it seems right. And honestly, now with how things have rolled out, I'm kind of glad that I didn't go, because ironically I found what I love to do. But I did end up going to ACC up in Cyprus for half a semester, and I didn't even complete the semester because, I don't know, I just lost so much motivation. I was like that kid that would always think about things that had nothing to do with school while I was in class.
Right.
And it would throw me off. I mean, I had good grades. I felt like I was wasting my time even in half a semester of school. But I think it was like the week before my my first final, there was like this whole process, and just thinking about it, I'm like, this sounds horrible. I don't know if I can do it. Even though it was just one final, I'm like, this isn't what I want to do. This isn't even, because it had nothing, at that point I wasn't even studying for eyes. I don't even remember what it was for.
It's probably philosophy or
psychology.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, definitely don't want this. It's like an easy like safety net for me, I guess. So
right.
I didn't even show up to the final. My mom was pretty pissed, but it's all good.
She didn't kill you. You're still here.
Yeah, I'm still here. But yeah, I mean, didn't show up to my final. Around this time was when I started learning about guys like Jay Alvarez, Sam Colder, Emmett Sparling, just really big guys in this industry.
Mm.
And I started just like kind of fantasizing, like, wow, like these guys could do it. Why can't I? And not to say that I'm at their level, but I'm definitely like working to get there, and it's hard. It's so hard. But this was right around the time when I was kind of second guessing my life choices. Like, do I want to keep going to school and wasting my time? Because in my eyes, it's about, I think school is like, in my opinion, for what I'm doing, I think it's like a waste of not only money and time, but like effort and creativity. Because in school, you can't really express yourself as much as you want, like you can out in the field or when you're traveling. But I don't know. It really helped me kind of open my eyes, though, like having those couple of classes, while also having these YouTube videos that I would watch outside of school. Like, oh well, these guys are traveling to places like Bali and Dubai and Brazil and jumping out of planes and, you know, doing cool shit for brands. And it just got me really, really drawn to it, you know? So
right.
I think I want to say it was about September. No, it was August. Sorry, it was August. I went and I bought my first camera. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything about a camera. I had always loved taking pictures on like my phone and like editing them on like Visco or something. Okay. But I had never really messed with a camera. So I bought one. I was in and out of YouTube for hours, just learning up how to use them, like cool ways that I can edit, tips and tricks, you know. I was trying to just dive into it without knowing anything about the industry. So honestly, it definitely took all hard work. I want to say it's at least 80% hard work. Some people definitely have talent. Like when you start, I did not.
That's good to hear, though. Now,
like my work was so bad. Sometimes I still think it is, but then again, it's also about mindset, especially with how you look at your work. If you never look at your work and think that you can bring value to the table, you're never going to grow. So, I mean, it was definitely mindset, definitely talent, definitely hard work, most definitely. I'd say that's the most important one, because if you don't put in the time and the effort, you're never going to progress. That goes with anything, honestly.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely a mixture of all that you've suggested. I can't really tell you percentage-wise like what was more important than the other, but I would definitely say hard work is one of the most crucial, because talent will definitely come as long as you're putting in work. If you're not, then you're going to stay in the same place forever.
Right. No, I think you said it perfectly. I mean, like, everybody has talent in some area, right? And I think if you find something you love and you're willing to take those risks, then you'll find where you can put your talent into the things that you love.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how I feel about it, because I don't want to say that there's things I can't do, but I know there's things I can do better than other things.
Yeah, exactly.
But I love it, man. So you've worked your ass off. You've gotten to this point. You're kind of running your own business. I don't know a whole lot about the business, and you don't have to get into it too deeply, but you're making money. You're kind of supporting yourself through this. Yeah. You're pitching your brand as a photographer. You just launched your website, right?
Yeah, finally have my website up.
Congratulations. I think it looks good. I think it looks good. You didn't build it yourself, did you?
I mean, I used Wix, but okay. I actually thought about paying someone. My buddy Amir, he actually told us about this guy that he paid. I think he paid like $200, made him a kick-ass website, and I'm like, yeah, I should definitely hit up that guy.
I will tell you, for $200, if you like what he does,
Yeah.
do it. $200
Yeah,
is
most
good.
definitely. The way he formatted his website, it looked excellent. But then again, it was $200 for someone to do it, and I can hope I like it, or be that annoying guy that says, actually, I'd like it if it looked like this, or can you
Right.
change this? So at that
Well, and
point,
that's the
I'm
problem
like,
with hiring people.
Exactly. So I'm like, do I want to do this, or do I want to try it for free?
Right.
Because I mean, it was free to do the thing. It was like what, $20-$30 to actually publish it with the URL.
Right.
So I think I spent like 2 or 3 days straight just going ham, I stayed at home. I didn't go out, I didn't leave. I literally just worked on it all day. And I had first published it in my bio on Instagram, and I had a buddy of mine, he commented, he's like, yo, it looks super good. Real quick though, this might be my OCD talking, but isn't your first name supposed to be like leveled with your last name? Because apparently, like, my Cam was up here, my Hoffman was way over here. I didn't even catch it. It had like a glitch on the mobile site for it. Didn't even realize. I'm like, okay, now I gotta go and revise and edit all these stupid little mishaps. So,
dude, that's the way to go. I mean, I've like you said, you can
myself,
pay
though.
somebody,
Yeah.
but even still, pay somebody later. Like, figure it out. I think it looks great. You know the things you want to change, and when you get to the point where you're like, okay, this is really good, this is the best I can do.
Yeah, exactly.
This is where everything goes. Now I can bring somebody to like tweak each piece, but they're not going to change it. They're just going to put their craft into it. But it looks great.
Thank you.
What are you doing with it? You're using that to get clients?
Right now, it's honestly, I've had a lot of opportunities where I'll meet someone at like an event, or honestly, in front of a friend, and they'll ask if I have a website, and I've always got to be that guy where I'm like, no, but I'm working on it. And I eventually kept hearing it too much, and it would bother me, because I'm like, if I'm going to make it in this industry, I need to have a website, because not only can people book me on there now, it basically gives you a general idea of what I can do, because, I mean, I don't really want to specialize in one genre of photography. I want to be able to...
You do it all.
Yeah, exactly. Not to say that that's, like... Not that that's a bad thing. A lot of times people are like, well, if you can do it all, chances are, like, all of it's not going to look good. But, I mean, if you practice and you put in the work, you can make it look good. So... it kind of shows you how you can book me, like places that I've been, a little bit about me, and then it'll give you a general basis of my gallery. There's little sub menus, like you can look at my portrait work, my landscape work, my travels, like there's all sorts of stuff. And eventually I'm going to put a little page that shows like brands that I've worked with. I need to work on that, but other than that, I think I have everything like squared away the way I like it. It's very me.
There you go.
Water, lots of tones, yeah.
I dig it, man. I like it. I thought it was cool.
Appreciate you.
Like you said, you just keep getting better. And you're only 20 years old, man. You can't you're fucking killing it. So you've got plenty of time. I think you've given some good advice. So have you worked with brands so far? Have you made
I have, yes.
some decent money? A living?
For the amount of time I've been in it, I'd like to think that I have a fair amount. I know I can definitely be doing more. I actually just joined a master class from a photographer. His name is Jacob Riglin. You might have heard of him. If not, he's really extremely skilled, one of the best in the game, extremely well known. He had a class that he offered to a certain amount of people. I bought my way in just so I could learn more, not only how to edit, how to run the business side of things, how to shoot better, like ways to approach brands. So I've learned a lot from that since then. Honestly, my approach to brands before this class, I realized I was doing so much wrong. And the fact that I managed to get responses from even guys like this, like I hit them up my first couple months in and they responded, and I was like, whoa, hold on.
That's awesome. Yeah. Hey, that's how you do it though. You jump in, and then when you say, oh shit, you figure it out. Like that's how it goes.
I've learned a lot, especially with reaching out to people. Like when I look back at how I used to do it when I first started, I'm like, yeah, if I were that brand, I would not respond to this kid. There's just so many ways he could have asked. But I mean, hey, I'm thankful for the brands that have given me the privilege to work with them, especially like Suspicious. I've worked with a couple of watch brands, phone cases, apparel companies, jewelry, CBD. Actually, that was a really fun one. Sent me some free products.
There you go.
That was pretty nice. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely working on more now. I'm not really doing. I'm not gonna lie though. Whenever I first started, I kind of wanted to. I was very, I wouldn't say insecure, but very nervous to be in this industry and not be working with anyone. I feel like it was a little bit of a status thing for me. I was very like, I had my mind really wrapped around like, oh, I want to work with all the brands. I want everyone to notice me. And quite honestly, my mindset's changed a lot since then. In the matter of just a year, it was a very selfish mindset for sure. But now I don't really want to work with brands just to get free shit, because anyone can do that, you know what I mean? So I really want to like bring a message. I want to bring like meaning to whoever I decide to work with. Like I want to start working with more eco-friendly brands, because I'm just an eco-friendly nut. Like, I love the planet. I love being conservative with what we use, what we do, how we do it. Yeah, I'm actually trying to make a couple of video projects, just trying to orchestrate them for this year, because I'm going to be taking a couple of trips. I definitely want to put some video work into stuff like that, because you can only do so much with a picture,
Yeah, absolutely. I love video, but I know very little about editing. Like,
yeah, same. I'm
doing
just getting into it. It's hard.
I don't think that's true. Maybe just with video, I know very little about editing, period. So I mean, I'm still using Lightroom, but
Lightroom and Photoshop, they're definitely their own, especially mainly Photoshop. It's like its own little language. Like, right. I'm still learning. I definitely don't know all that I need to know. It'll probably take me a long time till I get there, but
and then hop in Premiere, and it's a totally different thing too.
Premiere and After Effects, goodness, it's gonna be a roller coaster to start learning.
That's awesome. So tell me about some of the places you're going. I do see, and a lot of people that follow you, I'm sure, see all your posts about different brands and things like that. Tell me about some of the trips that you've had that have had an impact, some of the trips that you're taking that have had an impact, maybe on you or on your work, your relationship, whatever.
Well, I definitely say that Hawaii, it was about a year ago, close to a year ago, around this time of 2020, that I went to Hawaii. I went with a group of couple models and photographers. I went with one videographer. Was
it the Fire Festival?
What's that? The Fire Festival? Nah, that would be sick though.
I'm just kidding.
I actually, it's funny, I met this girl at it was Keiko. I met her at a photography event, and it was so spontaneous, because I almost didn't go, and neither did she. She told me later on. I ended up going anyways. I met a couple homies, and it started with about 15-20 people. In the matter of an hour, we had like 150 people there. So
nice.
It definitely grew. We had a lot of people posting about it, and this guy came out with smoke bombs, and he gave me one, because he's like, go in the middle of the street, I want to take a shot of you. And I'm like, all right, cool, bet. So I literally sit in the middle of the street and I block traffic with a smoke bomb. People definitely were looking at me like, what the hell is he doing? And I had 150 people to the side of me, all looking at me while I was sitting in the middle of the road. And this girl, she looked at me and was pretty much like, I like this kid's vision. Like, let's do it. So I went up to her, because she had ran into me earlier in the event, and I never really got her name, so I went back up to her. I was like, hey, it's nice to meet you. Like, I'm Cam. Let me know if you ever want to shoot. She's like, yes, I'm Keiko. Nice to meet you too. I will definitely. So then we got to talking on Instagram a couple days later, and we really clicked. And it was so weird. God, to this day, it blows my mind how random it was. She randomly was like, I'm about to do something really impulsive. What are you doing from the 15th to the 21st, I think it was. I'm like, I don't have anything. Why? She's like, cool. You're coming to Hawaii.
Nice.
I'm like, whoa, okay, hold on. what?
Let's go.
I was in my mind. I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. But I don't know. It kind of sketched me out because I'm like, is this girl she's trying to play me? She's trying to mess with my head right now. So she's like, no, I'm not kidding. I'm buying your tickets in a couple of days. Are you free? I'm like, yes, of course. It's Hawaii. So she flew me out. She paid for all my stuff. We worked with a couple of brands over there. I got to meet some new people. And I think we were there for 6 days. And honestly, those 6 days, that was my first trip where it had nothing to do with family. It had nothing to do with anything but just A, meeting new people, B, really jumping into it in this industry and like kind of giving myself a taste of what it'll be like to do this on the daily, and C, just experience life, because I'd never really taken a trip like that. And I told her, I was like, I've been wanting to go to Hawaii since I could walk. Like, you better not be playing with me right now. So that was my first trip. It definitely changed my life, because that was the trip that made me realize, like, now I really know that this is what I want to do. Because not only was everything paid for me, at that point it was just like, all right, well, I got my camera, I got my 2 feet, like, let's go, let's go make some stuff. It just made me realize, like, I could do this for a living if I do it the right way. And at that point, I really invested all my time into figuring out, you know, how can I grow? How can I make a business out of this? How can I travel for free? How can I work with brands? You know, like all that stuff. And so that was my first big trip. My next really impactful trip was Chicago, because I met a lot of photographers there. I reached out to a few people. And honestly, just like the setting of that city, it was really impactful. I can't really describe it. It's just, I don't know, kind of the vibes you get from being there. It's just very, very photographer friendly. I got lots of content there. I got to experience a lot. It just kept giving me more and more motivation to keep going, I guess. This year, like I said, I just got back from Cali. I go to Mexico, Tulum, in like 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
You say 2.5 maybe.
Hell yeah.
I'll be there for like, I'll be from the 7th to the 14th, so it'll be a week, and I might be staying home to work on stuff for like a month or two after that. I do need to work on a couple of projects that I need to like get squared away, but I'm going to be going to Asia probably the most this year. I'm kind of sketched, though, because of all this coronavirus shit.
Yeah, don't come back and bring that here.
I swear to God.
That's why I have you on now, because I figured you'd be going over there.
I really want to go still, but if it's getting worse, then we might have to postpone it and just change locations.
Yeah.
Which I really don't want to do. I wanted to go to Asia so bad.
Just go back to Mexico or something.
Honestly, something. South America somewhere.
Yeah, I do hope that gets better. But that's awesome. So, I mean, you've got, 6-7 trips planned for the next several months?
Give or take, yeah. We had Cambodia, Vietnam, Taiwan, Indonesia, the Philippines. Like, we had all that planned. We wanted to try and go to New Zealand.
Are you hopping, or are you coming back every time?
For Asia, we're hopping, and then we would come back for like a month or two. Keiko's got family in Italy, so we wanted to try and go there. She's going to be there in actually she's leaving tomorrow. She'll be there for like a week and a half or so. But we wanted to try and eventually hop back over to New Zealand, because we have a buddy over there. And we wanted to finish the year in Taiwan, because that big, I can't remember the name of it, the big tower, it like shoots fireworks out of it. Okay. We definitely want to try and go there for fun. And then we would start the new year in Norway, because we got homies over there that want to show us the auroras.
That'd be dope.
Sounds amazing. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good luck. Hopefully, like you said, the coronavirus goes away.
Where if I get that virus, no more Cammy. Goodness.
Well, just get as many pictures as you can before then.
It's in Houston. Did you know that?
Yeah. There's people all over the world that have been knocking off. And I mean, there's a very small percentage of people that have been affected. I think there's going to be new viruses every year. like even the
Remember when
flu virus
Ebola
and
was
things
a,
like
when it
that.
was a
Yeah,
thing?
the
God.
Henny virus and
Ebola blew up. I
Yeah.
remember I was scared for my life, and only a few people got it. Now hundreds, if not thousands, of people are dying from this thing all over the place.
right. So I mean, you just gotta do what you're doing and take the precautions, and
I'm gonna be wearing a mask everywhere.
don't do it while you travel. Actually, don't do it on the flight. So on the flight, you're breathing
Yeah.
into the mask the whole time, and there's just bacteria everywhere. And all the
Everywhere.
moisture that builds up in the mask will bring the bacteria. So like you said, maybe just hang back for a little bit.
Better not happen. I swear.
Still cool. So you're traveling, you'll get back. I think one of the things that I picked up on was you're coming back to work in between. You know, you're posting all this stuff about the travel, and you're coming back to work in between. That's the biggest thing. So like I said, I love your mindset. You're going, you're doing the things that you love to do.
Yeah.
I met you at a concert, and you guys were super bummed out. You couldn't get content there. There you go.
Reppin'.
But you're putting the work in, and you've got a great mindset. So good luck to you. Do you have any advice? Usually what I do is I say at the very end, if you had, I use a tweet. I kind of stole this from Tim Ferriss, but he says if you could put it on if you could put it on a billboard, but if you had a tweet, you've got 240 characters, what would you say in that tweet to give advice to people that look up to you? This is all you have to say, knowing the things that you've struggled with. What's your tweet?
That's a tough one. I feel like 240 characters just isn't enough.
That's exactly it, man. You get a sentence. You get one very powerful. You do it in a picture. You don't even do it with words.
That's true. You could. I would definitely emphasize the importance to living for yourself, because not in a selfish way, but like I know a lot of people that kind of live under their parents' standards, and that breaks my heart. Like I have personal, really close friends that are living their entire life, whether it's their relationships, it's their academic choices, what they decide to do for a living, everything is under their parents' standards, and that just hurts because they complain countlessly. Oh, I can't do this because my mom said that it's not safe or whatever. Or, oh, I can't do this because my dad says it's not smart. Or I'm going to go broke. Or I'm going to get hurt or whatever. So I would definitely say do things for you. Don't be selfish. But if you have something that you know you could be doing that you love with your life, definitely pursue it, because like people all over the world say, you're going to go to bed one day when you're 80 and you're going to look at your life and you're going to say, damn, I really did everything that I could, or damn, I didn't do enough. And you just never want to be that guy.
Never want to be the latter.
Exactly. You never want to look at your life and say, wow, I didn't do shit. Like, I did the bare minimum. I did the most basic. I did what everyone does. I never tried to step out of my comfort zone. I never really grew. I think really kind of diving into an industry that you know isn't maybe not necessarily reliable, but isn't safe, like being a painter, a singer, an actor, a photographer, something like that. Like an industry that people kind of look at like, whoa, like you do this for a living, you know, like, because I know people that can paint really well or that can sing really well and they're just not doing anything with it, and it hurts because it's like, wow, like even though it's scary to try, I know for a fact that if they actually put in the effort and they busted their ass, they could do something with it. Like I have a friend named Ashley. Her name is Ashley fucking Metro. For those of you that don't know, go look her up on Instagram. Super talented painter. I met her here, and she moved to LA, and she was not getting work in at all here, like hardly any. And now she lives in LA with a group of people, and she is always up to something. Just because she one day was like, fuck it, I'm trying. I have no idea what I'm doing. and she moved into an apartment with her friends, and now she's painting in art exhibits. She has murals all over the place. Like, she's well known here, and now she's like on billboards for like hair salons.
Nice.
Like, she's a model too.
She's
so
modeling,
she's like all
painting.
over the place, and it's just like, it's just an example. Like, it's all about effort, you know. Because I know that damn well that if she didn't go to LA and she just sat here and didn't do anything with herself, like, she couldn't be growing. So really proud of her for that. And even with my other photographer friends, like, I have guys that started off really bad like myself and have just grown, and it's so cool to it's cool to watch people grow. And I know people that like I said, that don't do anything creative, and I know they could. It's fun to watch them grow and, like, you know, succeed, because I know that if you do the safe route in life, sure, you can succeed, but you're succeeding with things that everyone succeeds with.
Right.
Like getting a college degree, or starting a family, or getting that job that you know, busted your ass to be a part of, or winning an internship, or whatever, you know, like, just things that everyone does.
Unless it's for you.
Exactly. Or buying that cool car. Like, yeah, you can do all these things, but, like, what's special about it? You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. I would just, in my tweet, I would say, if you have something that you want, or scratch that. If you have something that you think about more than anything in the world, and you have a passion to chase a lifestyle that you can dream of every single day, you're an idiot if you don't do anything about it.
I like it.
So if you have that one thing that you can't stop thinking about, and you never do anything with it, you're a fool. You gotta go after it.
I like it.
I had a lot of people tell me that they're really thankful to see that, you know, I've actually done something with my life, because I never thought I would ever be a photographer. If you were to tell me about a year or two ago that this is what I would be doing, I'd probably laugh in your face.
But that's your vehicle.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
That's your vehicle to living the life that you want and just kicking ass and doing cool shit.
Exactly.
I like it. I think, like you said, if you're doing it for you, and you know you're going to start the family, and that's your passion, that's what you want to do for whatever reason or whatever else, as long as you're doing it for you and you're putting yourself outside that comfort zone,
Exactly.
you'll grow. Creativity is so important.
It makes the world more unique. Makes it more fun.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, you look at the highest levels, creativity plays a role in success no matter what.
Oh,
if you
absolutely.
look at Elon Musk is one of the best engineers.
Legend.
Exactly, but he's
Such
a creative
legend.
engineer. Like,
absolutely.
he takes math.
He's a
and
funny
science
guy too, so
right.
he makes everything he's doing more interesting.
Right.
Not to say that you need to be funny to be, you know, a creative mastermind. It's just, you know, it's one of those things that kind of makes you more.
He's doing him.
Exactly.
He doesn't give a fuck.
And when you had said earlier, like, well, actually, how I had said earlier, it's not that when people do stuff like they get a degree or they start a family or they get that job that they want, it doesn't mean that that's not special, because there's also people out there that, like, that's all they want. They want a simple life. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's more for the people that kind of live outside of that, out of that mindset. Yeah,
yep.
Exactly. They're more in a creative mindset, and they're still choosing to do the basic. And at that point, it's like, well, you can do the basic, but I know it's not special to you, so why try? You know what I mean? Try
right.
and do those things that you know you want to achieve. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people just don't chase their dreams, and it hurts. It sucks.
It's true, man. That's true.
Sucks.
Well, thank you so much for being on, man.
Of course.
Like I said, I think you embody this brand. You are relentless in what you're doing. You're growing. Like you said, it's hard as hell, but
it is really hard.
You're killing it.
For anyone that is trying to be creative, I will tell you right now, it is not easy.
So
effort is everything.
Don't stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I definitely have creative blocks. Like, I'll have days where I'm, like, not feeling motivated, or I just not that I want to quit or any of that, but where there's just some days where I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do anything. I just want to chill.
So maybe one last point. What you can run through your day, you can run through some of those blocks. What do you do? What does a typical day look like, just briefly, unless you want to get into that? And when you hit those blocks, because sometimes maybe you have this really creative, this like burst of creativity, or you can't do anything with it, and then you have other days where you really need it and it's not there. Like, run through some of those scenarios.
So if I'm in like a creative drought, I at first, I'm not gonna lie, I'll kind of sit there and I'll kind of get in my head. I'll think like, how could I get out of this? And thankfully, I have people that I look up to, like Sam Colder, Matt Como, Jacob Riglin, Emmett Sparling, Chelsea Kawhi, like big photographers, videographers, and whose work I've seen hundreds, if not thousands of times. Like every meal, I'll watch their videos over and over again, or when I shower, dude, like I'll set up my phone and I'll watch videos over and over, and I study. And if I get into a drought, I'll go and I'll watch their work, because it's always like, those are like the few people that can really change my mood when I'm like really down. So if I'm in a drought, I'll either watch them, or I have any ideas I have for video or photo projects, I always write it in my notes. So I'll go and I'll skim through those, and I'll kind of really get myself into the mood. And honestly, like, it might even just be my mindset that day. Like, I might just not be like all there. So sometimes I might need like a cup of coffee, or I might need to meditate, or I might need to work out. It's definitely something that I'm doing to myself without realizing it. I might be not eating too well, or I might have been in like a bad environment for the past few days prior, or oh damn, is the video out?
It's alright.
I don't know. I could just be either in a bad mindset from something that I've been doing, or just people that I've been around. It really just depends, but it's not too hard to get out of it. It's just how to get out of it, and in a creative way, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, the last time I was in a drought, it wasn't hard to get out of. It was just, how am I going to get out of it in like a dope way? You know what I mean? So like, oh yeah, I'm not in my drought anymore. Like, here we go. It's like, no, I need to burst out of it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to make something new. Yeah, pretty much.
I like it. No, it's good. Like you said, you've got to find ways. Maybe you haven't slept. Maybe you need to work out. Maybe you just need to.
I was gonna say, sometimes I might just be up for like a day and a half or two.
You're
I'm just wired.
Going crazy.
Yeah.
Like you're losing your mind.
Lack on sleep.
Exactly. So take a quick nap.
Exactly.
I do want to clarify every time I say this. I don't tell people not to sleep. It's not never sleep. It's just be relentless.
I've even had professionals tell me, yes, sleepless nights where you are up all night busting your ass trying to perfect your craft, they are important.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't mean affect your mental health.
Right. I was going to say, they can't be consistent all the time.
Exactly. It's not even about staying up all night every time you want to progress. It's about finding that time that you work best. Because I know people that are good at working early in the morning, like early risers. I know people that can stay up all through the night and just be nocturnal as hell. I know people that can do neither, but can work really great during the day.
Like noon.
Get their 8 hours, yeah, and they can start at noon or whatever. So definitely find your time period throughout the day where you can work best. Because I mean, I can stay up at night throughout the night for hours and work completely fine. Same thing with during the day, but I cannot wake up early to edit. Can't do it. If I need to go and do a sunrise shoot or something, you can best believe that I'll be there. But that's because I'm trying to go shoot. I always want to shoot editing or working or sending business inquiries to brands where
that's
you're
the
just
hard
like,
shit.
But I can
Exactly.
sleep instead.
Exactly. But like I said, because of that, you embody it. You know what you have to do.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean you have to do it all the time, but you know how to get around it. You know yourself. You know what you want.
Exactly.
You've offered some great advice. Thank you very much.
Of course.
And we'll post everything. Is there anything that you want people to check out? Where's your website, Instagram?
My Instagram is Cam, C-A-M, the letter R, and then Hoffman, Hoffman. And then my website is the same thing, just without the R, just camhoffman.com. That's pretty much all I use. I mean, I'll be on YouTube soon.
There we go.
Right now, I'm fresh out of shit to post. So
We'll
Instagram
be ready.
and then my website are pretty much. And if you find my Instagram, my website link is in my bio, so it'll be easy to find.
Perfect. It'll all be posted. So
Yeah, cool.
we'll do that. And I'm excited, man.
Yeah,
Thank
me
you very
too.
much.
Glad I got to be here.
Hell yeah.
Finally.
Until next time.
Until next time.